Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from the Daily Wire dated August 12th. It says, by the numbers, only 12% found Sydney Sweeney ad offensive, but Democrats didn't get the joke. And the subheadline says, Democrat voters were far less likely to have found the ad campaign clever and more likely to believe it was offensive or inappropriate. So Democrats are just no fun these days. And I just wanted to mention this. I probably wasn't going to say anything about this because, frankly, I don't really care. I just think it was the response from the far left especially was about as overblown as a response to something could possibly be. But I just wanted to bring this up to say, it was a literal, non-controversy in the end. And I think we all probably knew that. So there's Sydney Sweeney. And let's go on. It says, the internet exploded with viral complaints about American Eagle's latest ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney, but the poll numbers suggest that the outrage was driven by a very small number of people whose influence is largely limited to cyberspace. And you'll notice that, I'm going to scroll back up here to the top, it says the 12% there that you see coincides with basically the amount of people that would identify as far left in this country, which is around 10%. So just to give you an idea, it was all the usual people all saying the same stuff, but nobody else had a problem with it. So it says the ad campaign features Sweeney in a number of still photos and videos wearing American Eagle jeans in several different styles. The tagline was simple: Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. It says, but critics harped on the obvious play on words and claimed that because Sydney is white, or I said Sydney, but it says Sweeney, because she's white and has blonde hair and blue eyes, the ad was a Nancy-esque dog whistle suggesting that her jeans were superior. It's because when you're a hammer, everything's a nail, so when, something is like a white person with blonde hair and blue eyes, just making a play on words, G-E-N-E-S and G-E-A-N-S, obviously that must mean Nazi. Never mind the fact that there were a lot of Nazis that were not blonde hair and blue-eyed, a real lot, including, the main man himself. So, just giving you an idea. It says, indeed, a poll from The Economist/YouGov indicated that overall, only about 12% of respondents believed the ad campaign was offensive, while the vast majority either found it clever or had no strong opinion. I'm probably somewhere straddling both of those. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really give a crap. But yeah, I was yeah, it's clever, and also I don't really care. So, scrolling down. It says Democrats at 18% were more likely than Republicans at 7% or independents at 13% to find the ads offensive. But even among Democrats, more found it clever, 22%, than offensive. Far more independents at 38% and Republicans at 57% said they'd found the ad to be clever. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a little bit. It was just kind of okay, it's just a play on words. And like I said, unless you're a hammer and everything's a nail, you're not really going to look at this and think there's a problem. So the gender gap was also pronounced, with 17% of women saying that the ads were offensive, compared to only 7% of men who said the same. It says on the opposite side, nearly one-third of the women polled, 31%, said the ads were clever, compared to nearly half of the men at 49%. It says by race, Black Americans were more likely to find the ads offensive, but only slightly. So according to the data, 16% of Black Americans found it so, compared to 12% of white Americans and only 7% of Hispanic Americans. Across all three demographics, more found the ads to be clever at 21% of Black Americans, 43% of white Americans, and 40% of Hispanic Americans. So the poll was conducted between August 9th and 11th and posed the questions to 1,635 adults in the United States. So the bottom line here is that nobody really found this offensive. Just the usual suspects for the most part, like I said at the beginning. That's it. It was completely overblown, and the loudest voices were all the people on the far left. No, other than that, nobody really cared. So, did you feel that way? How did you feel about this overall, though? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.